started to understand the position that our young people in, because I say this, is that if 1 out of 2 of them are being incarcerated by the age of 23 today, what is it going to be in 2024? And it's unbelievable to a large degree because there's no uproar on Facebook. We're not talking about this at all, even when it comes to the individuals not being educated. At Martin Luther King School on last year, they had 250 violent fights there. And it just blows me away because we're an educated people. I've been around individuals from Hampton University for the last 5 years, and I've met individuals that have been educated here as African Americans. I've met them all over the city relative to my plumbing company. It's been a blessing for me to have my plumbing company because I've serviced over 5,000 clients, and I've always been into nonprofit organizations. So after I've done a good job, by God's grace, for my client, I've always talked about their employment and what I'm working on relative to nonprofit initiatives that I've been involved with. And I'm telling you, I mean, we've been in positions of authority in educational systems like VCU to the extent where they've named buildings after us because of our development as provosts and interim presidents and all kinds of stuff. But when it comes to transferring those laurels or accomplishments or what you've learned to build and develop VCU and transfer that over to Virginia Union University or some other type of nonprofit to be able to benefit the HBCUs that are in trouble, all of them are. Virginia Union University just was able to be able to get equipment for their band. So in all of our education as African Americans, it puts us in a position, or we've had the mentality of just getting jobs. When it comes to, with all of the letters that we have before and after our name, when it comes to being able to generate revenue, we don't know how to do so. And that's the biggest problem. We can't depend on the church to generate revenue, but because of their charter of their 501c3 accreditation, they can get involved in business, but it has to be a small amount relative to their overall mission. We can't depend on the church to help us when it comes to politics, especially when we become a people that depend on city, state, and government to suffice the needs, especially when it comes to our young. But it's hard for us to be able to go through the church because under their charter, again, it states that they can't get involved in politics unless it's under a bipartisan level. They can't even get involved with voter registration unless it's on a bipartisan level. So it's only so much, even though they have such an important job as shepherds. I'm talking about shepherds that read about the valley of the dry bones. But when it comes to the bones, down there at Shackle Bottom, there's no uproar in the church about that. I've watched National Geographic about elephants traveling in Africa through the deserts, traveling hundreds of miles to get water. And they showed that the group of elephants that came by the carcass of an elephant that had passed some type of way. But they said that elephants, that they have a likelihood to human beings when it comes to feelings, especially the feeling of loss. So when they came up to the bones, the group started to become startled and nervous. until the lead elephant, the shepherd of the group, came to the bones as if he recognized the bones. But one thing he recognized for sure was the sacredness of the bones. He came up to them and he caressed them. And the other ones that were nervous, they started to form in line and come up and caress as if they knew. But they did that. They stopped on their quest of thirst for 30 minutes to pay homage to the bones. But we have a mayor that's also a reverend that don't care. There's no way that we can say that at 17th Street, where the Devil's Acre or Lumpkin's Jail was, and hundreds of thousands of African Americans came through that area. We can't say that all of them were buried in one spot. We know that everywhere they did, it's not like our bones were respected during that time. Head posts were everywhere. Hundreds of thousands. But we have a disregard. Nobody's talking about it. It's not like the mayor has it in his heart to build something, to pay homage to African Americans. That's only conducive of the ballpark being there. Then we'll try to get some money to pay. But there's no uproar. The best of us, the most educated of us. I know you don't want to hear it. The sororities and the fraternities have been remiss in their duty when it comes to their social responsibility to our young. And up to this point, when the question has been asked about the condition of our young being incarcerated, we've been blaming them. We've been blaming the parents. We've been blaming rap music. But we are educated. We have degrees in behavioral science. Doctors, lawyers. But we don't have health centers. We don't have legal advice. We don't have dinner centers. When VCU decided that they want to offer a free dental center at Martin Luther King School so the parents don't have to get off work. We'll have Dr. Randy Adams say, no, that's going to come into my bottom line. But we don't have any centers for our young. No health centers. But the ones that exist, the 501c3 organizations that exist, we are in predicate positions in those 501c3s. But when it comes to us instituting 501c3s for our young people, we don't have any opportunities. No ball fields. Riding the north side, south side, east end, or west end. Look to your left. Look to your right. None of the buildings, none of the ball fields, none of the centers